Good, Matt? Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome Justin Thomas to the Media Center here at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, making his first start at this event. Justin, welcome to Detroit. You just got off the golf course. If we can get some comments on being here and this golf course specifically.
I've really enjoyed my time here so far. I felt very welcomed. It's been cool. The golf course is fun, very, very old school. Obviously, with the weather they had, they're kind of put behind the eight ball in terms of the course being soft, but you have to really, really be able to control your distance and your spin because the balls are spinning back, unlike any place I've ever seen. So it's definitely going to put a priority on distance control and trajectory and all that. And, I'm excited. I think each day has kind of built up a little bit more and more. I just got in Monday afternoon, and I'm excited for tomorrow.
And I know you've already been able to visit Grayson here to do a little shopping. Just comment a little bit about that relationship and then being based here in Detroit.
Yeah, it's really cool. I know I've had a great relationship with Charlie at Grayson for a while now, and he's been in my ear for a couple of years now to come to this tournament, and I'm very glad that we could mutually make it happen. And it's the amount of effort that not only him but everybody in the team puts into that company. For me to be able to firsthand go check out that store and also obviously being local here, the amount of support and the amount of grace that I'm seeing out there is really, really cool, being a part of the brand and the company. So the store was unbelievable. I was completely blown away with how well done it was and the amount of people in there. So it's probably not going to be my last trip there, being pretty close to it.
And before questions, you're looking for your 8th straight trip to East Lake. Some positive signs last week, those last 3 rounds with Travelers, so coming in with some good momentum. Talk a little bit about the state of your game.
Sure. Yeah, I need to take it one step at a time. I'm very fortunate that I've never been in this position in my career. But unfortunately, I need to play some good golf to be worried about, not worried, but to take it one step at a time. In past, I've kind of been already just looking to East Lake at this point of the season, but, I'm not in that spot right now, so I just need to continue to keep building and keep working on what I have been. Definitely saw a lot of great signs last week and played some really, really good golf those last 3 days, and, I'm just a couple events away from being right there, and a lot of things can happen, and the unknown is the fun and bad part about this game, so we'll see where it takes us.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Yep, over here, Ron, on the left.
Hey, Justin. Ron Kloss, Bettsburg Golf. So you made the move to Aim Point a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Where are you at in your journey with Aim Point? And on a course where it's pretty much a putting contest, mm-hmm. and you typically play much tougher scoring contests or courses, how do you change your mentality when birdies are dropping left and right?
Well, I think it could go to my advantage a little bit playing last week as well. I mean, last week was very much a birdie fest with how soft it got over the last couple of days. So it's just, I've fared well on courses like this in past, which is nice. I enjoy, trying to make 9, 10, 11 birdies in a round. I mean, if you're driving it well out here, you have a lot of wedges in your hands where you can just, you're trying to almost make wedge shots if you kind of get in a little bit of a zone. But so I enjoy that part of it because you're almost like never out of the tournament, to an extent. But the Aim Point process has been fun. I mean, I'm learning a lot more just each and every week. I think I had a pretty good process last week of going about it. And greens this severe, it can definitely be. I can use it to my advantage and some putts here and there, but it's still going to require a lot of my artistic and feel side on some of the big breaking putts, and that's where I kind of mix the two.
All right, let's go to Larry in the front here.
How much of your interest in boosting the FedEx standings, your place in it, has you here this week?
I mean, quite a bit, to be honest. I was outside the playoffs going into last week, and, I would love to, be able to kind of have the same schedule I have in the past, but at the same time, it's I wish it was under different circumstances, but I'm very glad to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you get some years you need to add some events, some years you need to take some off based off of it be injury, where you are in the points, or wanting to play an event, wanting not to, family obligations, whatever it is. And I generally don't play 4 in a row. 3 is kind of my sweet spot, and this being my 3rd in a row, it about a month ago, I reached out to my team, and I was like, I think this could be a good ad, and obviously not terribly far from Hartford. So like, let's make it happen. And then the next couple months, or the next month or so, kind of took its place, and it worked out that I needed to play here more than I thought. So everything happens for a reason, I guess.
All right, let's go to Tony on the right.
Justin, Tony Paul, Detroit News. A couple quick ones. Have you ever played golf in Michigan before?
In Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the U.S. Junior in Michigan in 2010.
Was that at Oakland Hills? Oakland
10?
Hills. I gotcha. And then you talk about adding this one onto your schedule. You're not used to, I guess, struggling the way you have this year. Golf's a mental game. How do you keep yourself, I guess, sane, with the frustration? How do you deal with the frustration?
Did you say how you keep yourself sane?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Golf's a mental game,
Yeah, for
We've all
sure.
dealt with it. You obviously on a much bigger level, but I mean, how do you deal with that side of the game?
It's tough. I work on it like I work on my wedge game. I practice it. I try to learn from it like I do every tournament. And I think after it was done long enough and I was able to reflect, I learned a lot from the U.S. Open. I felt like I was playing the best golf that I've played in a really long time. I'm talking, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And because of that, my expectations got up, and I fully expected to go win that golf tournament. And I was playing more golf swing than I was golf, and that got in the way. And last week, I wasn't feeling great about my golf swing in the beginning of the week, and I kind of said, screw it, I'm just going to go out here and hit shots and play golf. I'll use the practice rounds, the pro-am, the time on the range to really kind of hammer down the things in my swing mechanically I want to work on. But then when I'm out there, I just need to go play. And all the credit to her. Honestly, my wife, Wednesday night last week, sent me a text that I woke up to Thursday that just kind of, it resonated to me and it really hit home better than anything I've heard. And just to basically said, remember why you love this game and why you play this game and why you're out there. Just enjoy that and kind of take it in. And it hit home for me. So last week, any kind of challenge I faced, anything good that happened, anything bad that happened, I just kind of remembered, it's why I play professional golf, and it's why I'm doing this. So, it's like anything. You just try to get better.
All right, let's go far left over here.
Hi, Justin. Ryan Brath from golf.com. You mentioned there talking about trying to find a balance, and you're a player that does work the golf ball a lot and hit a lot of shots. How do you balance the idea of being, the artistic side of hitting shots in the golf swing and being out on the golf course versus trying to work on and ingraining something that really helps you kind of build your skills up to the point where you feel confident on the golf course that you can hit any shot?
I think it's there's just a time and a place for both. When I'm on the range, there's specific times on the range where I might be trying to work it. If I'm working on club face control or I'm just trying to hit certain shots. But I think I've done a pretty good job of trying to separate each thing. When I'm working on distance control, I'm working on distance control. If I'm working on shots, I'm working on shots. I'm not trying to mix, a lot of mechanics, a lot of distance control, and a lot of shot shaping and trajectory all in one, because then it's just not realistic. I almost kind of like separate them, if you will. And, if I'm there working on mechanical and swing stuff, like I don't really care what the ball's doing, because that's not the goal of that. The goal of that is to feel what is right, so then I know what that is, to where I can do that repeated over and over and over again, to where I don't have to think about it anymore. And then when I'm comfortable enough, I'm able to go hit those shots.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All good? Justin, thank you for your time.
Thanks.